Dixie Whatley. At the movies.
Officer.
If these people get out of the building, that is it for New York.
We just got some problems.
I want him dead.
Nobody touches Tracy but me.
Tracy.
Tracy?
You mind if I call you Dick?
I was beginning to wonder what a girl had to do to get arrested.
Wearing that dress is a step in the right direction.
Those are three of the movies we'll be reviewing today. We'll also look at Alan Alda's new comedy called Betsy's Wedding. But first, here's Rex to tell you about Dick Tracy.
And I wish the news was better. I think hype can sometimes kill, and Dick Tracy may end up the latest victim. After the kids stop buying all those T-shirts and raincoats and shower curtains, what's left is a comic strip movie that is nothing more than Batman in a yellow Burberry. As a kid, I really was never a fan of the square-jawed cop with the silly two-way wristwatch and the lemon jello Alan Ladd trench coats. I preferred Superman and Nancy and Sluggo. Well, I was a sick kid. The hoods and floozies and goons he chased were just more fun than he was, and most of them are all here. Numbers, Prune Face, Flat Top, The Rodent, Little Face, Itchy, and a lot of others. They're played by an all-star cast who appear briefly and unrecognizably behind tons of latex like ghouls on their way to a Halloween party. Al Pacino is Big Boy, the underworld thug who wants to destroy Dick Tracy. Madonna is the trashy, breathless Mahoney, and stone-faced Warren Beatty wanders through the cartoon chaos like a file clerk who's playing King Lear in scenes like these.
Hey, tough guy. You want to try that on somebody your own size?
Maybe we should step outside.
Okay, tough guy. Now do you want to give the kid a piece of chicken?
Aren't you gonna arrest me?
If I'm gonna arrest you, I'd have done it by now.
Then what are you up to, honey?
I think Lips Manless is dead. And I want you to tell me who killed him. Or maybe you weren't on his side. Whose side are you on?
The side I'm always on. Mine.
No grief for Lips?
I'm wearing black underwear.
What's the matter? You bums forgot how to kill people? Doesn't your work mean anything to you anymore? Have you no sense of pride in what you do? No sense of duty? No sense of destiny? I'm looking for generals! What do I got? Foot soldiers! I want Dick Tracy dead!
$30 million ought to add up to more energy than this, and if I live to be 100, I will never understand what a Madonna is. Her vulgar undulations, her rotten music, and white zombie makeup add up to the specter of a pitiful and sexless corpse selling necrophilia wholesale in a role Marilyn Monroe was born to play. She has no vulnerability. She's about as sexy as a hubcap. She can't sing, she can't act, and she looks like she needs a bath and a blood transfusion. Dustin Hoffman plays Mumbles. Now, in the comic strip, remember, it was really funny trying to read his voice balloons, saying things like, in the movie, what comes out really is, but it isn't funny anymore. He just sounds like Mickey Rourke. The real star is Dick Silbert, whose imaginative sets and, well, they're just works of art. The blue buildings, the purple streets, the yellow cabs. They look like polyurethane pop-up centerfolds in Hallmark cards. It's just too bad Warren Beatty moves through them like a man wearing aluminum foil jockey shorts. One false signal that there's life within could be fatal. Dick Tracy, to me, movie is a boring joke that backfires, and Warren Beatty's just the only one who never seems to get the punchline.
Aluminum jockey shorts, that's a little thing. Well, I think a yellow French coat isn't appropriate, but
He just doesn't
But
have
that's
any
okay.
sense.
Neither did Dick Tracy. He's not supposed to. Madonna's supposed to be a cartoon. She's not supposed to have the life that a Marilyn Monroe would have. I thought she played it quite well for the kind of thing it was supposed to be. Now, this film was not supposed to be something that was as full of life as that. It is a
Then
cartoon
why does
come to
every
life.
other character in the movie have that life?
I don't know that
Everybody
they do.
does.
I think they're all cartoons. Flat Top, William Forsythe, I thought was wonderful, but you can't see any expression through the makeup, really. That is what it is.
He's killed
It's a
off
cartoon.
immediately. To me, this is
Not
like
lasted
being
a while.
invited to breakfast at Tiffany's and being served some kind of a soggy bagel.
Oh, I think it's like Roger Rabbit's an innovation in filmmaking, and for that it needs to be
I'll take
appreciated.
Roger Rabbit any day over this. Anyway, with us once again is our At the Movies home video correspondent, Mike Clark.
Hi, Mike. What did you think of Dick Tracy?
Well, overall, I really like Dick Tracy, although I have to admit it's one of those movies that's perhaps a bit more interesting around the edges than straight down the middle. In other words, it's magnificent at creating a mood, but there are some deficiencies in the storyline. I have to say this, though. It's the first movie I've seen in many, many weeks that I couldn't wait to see again, and I'm talking about seeing it again the next day, and that's exactly what I did. Now, a bit later on in the program, I'll tell you about my favorite Warren Beatty movie that's available on home video.
Thanks, Mike. We'll be looking forward to that. Coming up next, Peter Weller in Robocop 2. But first, here are this week's top 5 winners at the box office.
Number 5, Back to the Future 3. Number 4, Gremlins 2, The New Batch. Number 3, Total Recall. Number 2, Another 48 Hours. And the top movie at the box office this week is Dick Tracy.
Robocop, what has happened to you since you were my summer love back in 1987? My heart swelled at the glint of light off of your steel biceps. Alas, bubbled forth at your monotone humor. But now that Robocop 2 has invaded your territory, your charm is totally overwhelmed by blood and shootouts and fireworks. Robocop 2 takes us back to Detroit on the verge of total default and in the grips of yet another designer drug called nuke. And, of course, Omni Consumer Products, or OCP, which created the Robocops, is still around, a corporate empire consumed by power and peopled primarily by real nasty folks. Their new version of Robocop is devoid of any of the feelings and memory of a former life, which makes Robo 1 a little bit human. And OCP tries to wipe out those same feelings in our Robocop.
Alex, don't you know me? Don't you remember me?
Touch me.
Let's go.
They made this to honor him. Your husband is dead.
But this isn't a movie about feelings, not at all. It's about shoot-offs and mowing everything and everyone down in the bloodiest mess possible. And when the combatants can't bleed, they still make a mess.
Things will be a lot quieter with this boy around. What's wrong with it?
Oh, it's nothing. Nothing at all.
Turn him off.
I can't.
Jane, let's step outside.
You! Get out of here! You're obsolete!
That thing is a killer. Behave yourselves.
Sure. For me, Robocop 1 was so wonderful because of its humor and its heart, the humor and heart of Robocop himself, along with fantastic special effects. Now, that humor and heart are alive at the beginning of Robocop 2, but they're soon killed off along with everything else. All that's left is man versus machine, and that gets real old after about an hour or so. A problem with any sequel, of course, is we already know the characters, so there are no real surprises. surprises, and we have expectations which are often not realized. I wish Robocop had become more human, not less so. I was all set for him to be my summer love of 1990. Oh well, actor Peter Weller deserved a better script for having to subject himself to that robo-suit again. That had to be awful uncomfortable.
Well, I thought the movie was just a mess. There just doesn't seem to be any reason for this sequel. I liked the first one, too, but all the gore and violence, the gratuitous bloodshed...
Taking the top of that guy's head
And
off.
there's a lot of campy humor in this. I did laugh a lot, I must admit. And also, you've got to admit that a junkie robot is a new one on me. The junkie robot that battles the good Robocop at the end just looked like the end of Aliens to me. And then when the movie gets serious, it raises these important moral issues like... If you fail to repair a broken robot, is it murder or is it just computer failure?
I've been curious about that for years. Yeah, the humor's in the commercials, not in the character, and I think that's too bad.
Why can't Peter Weller get a good movie?
He deserves it.
Coming up next, Molly Ringwald and Alan Alda in Betsy's Wedding. But first, here's Mike Clark with this week's top 5 rented movies on home video.
Number 5 is Black Rain. Number 4 is Sea of Love. Number 3 is Look Who's Talking. Number 2, The Fabulous Baker Boys. And the number 1 most rented movie on home video this week is Back to the Future Part 2. And I think I would go with The Fabulous Baker Boys.
Yes, they're all back, the cute fuzzies and the big-eared uglies. This time, the Gremlins take Manhattan, or at least try to. For the uninitiated, a little teddy bear-like creature named Gizmo spawns nasty monsters when he gets wet. Lots of Nancy monsters, and this batch hatch in a huge automated office building owned by Daniel Clamp, a cross between Donald Trump and Ted Turner. When the slimy bunch of mutants take over the building and Clamp's TV network, dizzying havoc ensues.
Creature, what is it that you want?
Fred, what we want is, I think, what everyone wants, and what you and your viewers have. Civilization.
Yes, but what sort of civilization are you speaking of, creature?
The niceties, the fine points. Diplomacy, compassion, standards, manners, tradition. That's what we're reaching toward. Oh, we may stumble along the way, but civilization, yes. The Geneva Convention, chamber music, Susan Sontag. Everything your society has worked so hard to accomplish over the centuries, that's what we aspire to. We want to be civilized. I mean, you take a look at this veil here.
Well, the best thing about the new batch is the batch. These Gremlins come in endless varieties, spiders and bats and salad bar, just to name a few. This is thanks to drinking some horrid concoctions in an experimental lab. I'm not going to get into it. But being a monster lover and a longtime fan of Rick Baker, the monster maker, I am boggled by the sheer volume and imaginative varieties of Gremlins. But it does get to be just too much of a grisly thing. All the slime and the squirm will probably draw great squeals from the younger set. I thought it was pretty iffy. Older viewers can watch for more subtle spoofs, a witch-hatted gremlin wailing, "I'm melting," as it dissolves into a puddle of goo, for example. I wouldn't really recommend this for an adult date, but if you have to take the kids to something, go for the Gremlins.
It's getting to the point where you have to be 4 years old to be a movie critic.
Take a 4-year-old.
I have no objection to watching Gremlins destroy Trump Tower. I mean, I got a rather perverse satisfaction out of that.
Clamp Tower.
But, well, it really is Trump Tower, and John Glover really is, I think, a kind of a nerdy Donald Trump in the movie, so it was okay watching him get his. But really, I'm getting a little tired of these fang-toothed fuzzballs. I have a feeling that as we speak, somebody is inventing new ones for Gremlins 3.
Teenage Gremlins.
Enough already. Now in Betsy's Wedding, we've got...
Well, if I were running brand new videos this weekend, I'd go with Jessica Lange and Music Box, which incidentally made my 1989 10 Best list. Or Michael Moore's smirky but funny Doc House.
Betsy's Wedding has many clever moments and amusing twists on that old saw movie plot, Weddings Are Hell. I gave it 3 stars.
In the summer of comic book clowns, violent cops, and teenage toys going berserk, I just thought it was a refreshing change of pace to see a movie about people, and I did laugh too. 3 stars for me.
Al Pacino steals Dick Tracy from Warren Beatty. His big boy Caprice rivals Nicholson's Joker. The film's a visual feast with the most creative makeup for bad guy faces in recent memory. I gave it 3 stars.
Disagreement here. Warren Beatty and Madonna to me were like zombies, and everything else in this big overrated bore is just Batman in a yellow trench coat. 2 stars for me.
Peter Weller is still good, but Robocop 2 is devoid of the humor and heart which made it so wonderful the first time around. 2.5 stars from me.
I agree. Violence, gore, and campy humor just make for an utterly pointless sequel to Robocop, which I did like, the first one. I laughed a lot here, too, but not always in the right places. 2 stars from me.
That's very telling. Gremlins 2 has lots of goo and ugly gremlin mugs, but some charm and some humor as well. A special cheer to Robert Prosky as a vampirical movie host. 2.5 stars.
Well, I just wonder how many times do we have to watch gremlins throw food, wreck property, and pop out of salad bars? Enough already. 2 stars from me.